This is Kevin Harlan, Mark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We got a special treat for you folks tonight. Sports writing heavyweight Bill Simmons is in the house. Bill, welcome to 2K Sports.
What an honor. I've been waiting for the invite for years.
And we've been waiting for the acceptance. Thanks for joining us.
Let's do this.
Certainly some confidence for Indiana with the win in their last matchup against Orlando. And guys, they had trouble finding a way to win the first two matchups, but they put together a nice win last time out and can tie things up here.
A huge margin of victory for them when these two teams squared off last, and they got scoring from up and down their lineup.
Yeah, the reserves, the guys coming off the bench, Greg, made their presence felt. And of course, with their big lead, they were able to give the bench a lot of run.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for Orlando, Gordon out there with Wiley. Then it's Ricky Rubio. Then it's Kelly Olynyk. And it's Money in at point guard. And he comes up with the deuce. We're about 1 minute into the first. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, I did catch up with Indiana's head coach. He said they have to do a good job of moving their feet defensively. That's the only way they're going to avoid getting dunked on. He said they also need to turn guys who are slashers into jump shooters. See if that works, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Samson shot good.
This is exactly what you want Farrell to do. I mean, when there's somebody open, you've got to find it.
You know, the way that super teams are being put together right now, good or bad for the league?
I'm confused. I have been watching this league since I was a kid. We've always had super teams. There's never been an era where we didn't. What do people think the Jordan era Bulls were? And what do they think the Shaq and Kobe Lakers were? This is how the league is. I think what bothers people this time around specifically is that the Warriors won 73 games and they added Kevin Durant. Now, I get it. I get why it bothers people. On the other hand, your job as a franchise is to tilt the competitive advantage in any way you can toward your favor. They did a great job building their team. They did a great job building enough cap space for this year that everybody knew was coming. The summer 2016, we knew the cap was going to jump. And they played it perfectly, and they got Kevin Durant out of it. He played it perfectly, too. He was on a team he wasn't going to win the title in OKC. He wasn't going to win the title playing with Westbrook. Not to sound like a Durant apologist, but he wants to win a title and beat LeBron James. If you're going to do that, you're going to try to get on the best possible team you can.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty.
Oh, man. And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skill to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure.
Yes, indeed. Let's just call it ladder climbing.
Okay. Indiana shooting their first free throws of this one.
And they've shot the ball well this season in terms of their attempts, 81%.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved. Solid trip from the line right there. Knocked them down, and it was easy.
Money, and down it goes, jamming that one home.
And folks, those are hops you just don't see from that one spot every day.
Well, that's why he is such an uncommon talent.
Yep, uncommon and unparalleled. I mean, he makes things happen out there for sure.
And now we have a moment to recognize the player of the week in the Eastern Conference, Money.
And you can see how valuable he is to the team with the amount of offense that he generates. Rarely is there a bucket where he didn't have a hand in creating.
The pass to Rubio. Over Oladipo, and then Gordon with the dunk.
Attacking the defense with the pass there, Kevin. Rubio with great vision and no hesitation on the delivery.
And here's Farrell. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. Trailing by 2. Here's Olynyk, and the dunk by Olynyk.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for the Magic?
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree, but for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge them. You're going to have to talk.
You challenge me, which is that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And you guys are ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it.
Yeah. So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk. And we did 5 podcasts, and everyone's on the table with him. But my favorites are there's somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Well, I really like the way he's stroking the ball. I mean, knocking down a bunch of his shots and really being efficient.
Another steal.
Oh! That's how you attack. Wow.
Oh, man. my.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis, Jim. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark.
Hey, guys, I know there are a lot of questions right now defensively for this team. There's no doubt about that.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. Yeah, you see it now on the scoreboard.
Clearly in great rhythm. They've got it going on. I mean, in a big way. Excellent job of establishing a huge lead early on.
Let's take this chance to bring you now the hottest shooters from downtown this month. Angelica Batum, he's absolutely deadly from outside. And, of course, Money just trailing him. He's another player that shoots extremely well from outside.
I mean, the shooting range of these two guys has probably been the most impressive. There's not a spot on the floor they can't hit from.
And Indiana making a change here. Outlaws checked in to the middle. Here's Wiley, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Schooling them right now. Taking them to the woodshed. Super aggressive and owning the paint.
Bill, it's interesting. More than 50 colleges and universities now offer scholarships in esports. I did not know this. And that number is probably only going to go up.
Yeah, and it makes sense too. What's more popular, esports or water polo? No offense to the water polo players, but come on.
These kids love it. They're not getting up at these games.
Yeah, we should have every college should have esports.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area.
And around the break, up the floor, and it's Gordon with the finish.
Yeah, we saw this on display in the slam dunk contest. Gordon has some major bunnies, a creative slam dunk artist.
Outlaw with it. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game.
And way to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking.
Well, I tell you what, he loaded up as much power as he could behind that two-hand.
Can't hit the step-back jump shot.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Turner up top. And that's a foul called on Money. That's foul number 2 for him.
Already the second foul. He's in danger of getting into serious foul trouble early in this game.
Biden's checked in for Miles Turner. They get a hand on it, and that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. Here's Leiden. 6 to shoot. Here's Outlaw.
And they've done a nice job controlling the defensive backboard to start this game.
Not one second chance bucket allowed. That is finishing off good defense.
Money passes to Olenek, and the layup's good off the glass. Olenek's got 8.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Pass to Money. Here's Rubio. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and squeezing it hard.
Timeout called the Pacers. We've seen Money really having a great game.
And he's been taking it to the rack all game, and they haven't been able to contain him. They have to put up better fight on the inside.
Here's Light, defended by Gordon. Good D by Rubio.
Loved how they guarded that layup. Didn't make it easy, which I think is why he missed it.
Bill, we know in your writing that you love to incorporate pop culture references. How did that begin with you?
Well, it began because in college, I was dropping them in columns and people were responding. I think pop culture probably mattered more when I was in college in the 80s and 90s because, you know, we didn't have the internet back then. It was harder to connect with people you didn't know. Basically, you had sports and pop culture and politics. Those were the 3 ways. If I'm getting to know you, what are the 3 things we were talking about? I didn't want to talk about politics with anybody, so the other 2 things for me were sports, pop culture. I was also an only child in the 70s with only 5 or 6 TV channels, watching Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Sanford and Son, Jefferson's, Good Times, all that stuff. And, you know, that stuff just soaks into your DNA, and that's it.
And the basket by Olenek.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Indiana's gone 4-7 from 3-point range so far in the first. Got a piece of it. Having another steal.
And he's just been...
Talk about bringing it.
Oh, let's go home. That was just ridiculous.
I do not remember the last time I saw a dunk like that in a game.
And guys, it's going to be a long time before we see another one just like that.
Cornette kicks to Ubro. Inside, here's Outlaw. A good finish at the rack off the slip feet.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Passes it to Gordon. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Really a fantastic job by Gordon to bury himself down there, giving the defense really no other choice than to foul him.
This is his first free throw of the game. The first free throw is good. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And, you know, I like that Gordon is a versatile guy who can play both forward spots. He's a terrific athlete who continues to improve.
Outlaw, the pass to Garnett. Out to the right wing. Dell got it. From outside, off the mark.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
And the trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
And guys, that's his game. I mean, battling in the paint and cashing in on those second chance opportunities.
And for cashing it hard. I mean, man, oh man, he puts an exclamation point on that dunk.
Guys, that's the only way he knows how to do it. Soft, I don't even think is in his vocabulary.
Another steal. And here we go with the Magic fast break. And then Gordon with the dunk.
And that's Gordon's game now. You can't give him room to hit the launch pad because if he does, he's throwing it down every time.
For Indiana, they've gone 8 of 14 from the field in the first quarter. Bill, several of your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. You know,
I think they embraced the
Yeah, I think they did.
size.
They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilet or bring out an airplane or whatever they want to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that, honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Will Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they played together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Will Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that made me want to write the book.
Here's money, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
For Orlando, they have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this game.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
Yeah, again, just a lackluster transition defense.
And 7 of the last 10 points, Greg, they've surrendered, have come off the fast break, so real easy to see what the problem is.
It's Oladipo on the wing. Olynyk is covering. Frank. Pass to Simpson. Now Garnett. Another shot. No good that time. And so it's the Orlando Magic sitting pretty as the quarter comes to a close. Their lead all the way up there at 35 points. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And don't go away. We'll be right back. So far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in a second. And for the Magic here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Grinding away down low, man, just filing them down. Love the bully ball method. Paying off well.
Last outing for Indiana. They won that game against the Magic. This is how the floor looks for the Magic starting the second. Money out there with Ricky Rubio. Then there's Wiley. And there's Gordon, and it's Olynyk in at the 5 down low. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he carried me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them, and they won the title.
How old were you?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is a year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Collins on that team?
Collins, Havlicek, JoJo Wade.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. It was probably the most famous NBA game ever. Of the, I don't know, you know, the kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something like that. Triple overtime game, that was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half of the first overtime.
He is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think.
Without question, a crowd pleaser to the 10th degree.
Was shot by Turner, no good.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Here's Money. Throws it up high. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Here's Garnett. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a three-point play. It's going to be on Aaron Gordon.
outstanding anticipation that time from Oladipo, seeing the floor extremely well and then zipping the pass over to the open man.
Here's Money. Banked in off the glass. Money's got 6 here in this quarter.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you, Ford. Boy, he's got freakish athleticism, and you can see why he's participated in the slam dunk contest before. This guy can fly.
And the basket by Rubio.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And here's Farrell. He'll bring it up for Indiana. They've got the Pistons ahead of them in their next game in Detroit. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
And that pattern continues, guys. Another heat check, another log on the fire.
Well, they're scorching right now. I mean, the defense has to be concerned. Nothing they're doing is stopping this run.
And there's the pass to Garnett. Again, Indiana.
I'm still kind of trying to figure out how that one went in. Don't think they drew it up that way, but hey, it still counts because it worked.
Bill, a top advisor for the U.S. High School Athletics and Activities Division, recommended that schools adopt esports programs. What's your take on that?
I'm all in. It's probably my son's only chance to go to college, so I really hope it happens. No, listen, see, the world changes every decade, and you got to change with it. And the reality of esports is one of the biggest things we have now. And if you're under 15, you're likely to play video games and be good at that than you are to do anything else. So why wouldn't you be able to benefit from that? The whole esports in general, just the audiences they're getting, and as a spectator event, that's been building. So why wouldn't that work for college?
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
To the middle, tries it from 9. It's deflected, and he's able to get it back.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in cracking this team's lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Sports video game has changed over the decades, Bill. Can you imagine a 13, 14-year-old Bill Simmons with the 2K product? You would just be all over that, wouldn't you?
You have no idea, Kevin Harlan. I was there for every step of the video game evolution. I had a television, an Atari, I had Nintendo, I had Super Nintendo, I had all 3 of the first PlayStations.
You played them all the time.
I played entire Madden seasons on the treadmill when I was like in my early 30s. Try playing any video game on the treadmill. Try not falling off. It's impossible. So I've been there every step of the way. I am pro esports. Basketball, I'm jealous of the people who can play 2K well because it's just, that sounds like an old guy, but so many buttons and so many things to remember. I'm always so impressed when people just remember all the combinations and stuff.
Like your son does.
My son can do it.
I know it.
But I could have done it.
I know you could have.
I want to take 1984 me out of a time machine and just give me this game. I would have unleashed.
Yeah, the 13-year-old Bill Simmons would like what 40-year-old Bill Simmons is.
13-year-old Bill Simmons would be amazed that 48-year-old Bill Simmons was getting paid to do anything. He'd really be excited about that. Just that he wasn't going to be at home. Would have been fired up.
Here's Fultz. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. 5 points in the game.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots velocity, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better, and they're going to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision of LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
To the paint, here's Turner, and Turner throws it down.
Well, you can't let Turner get that deep inside. When you do, he's going to abuse you with a throwdown right on top of your head.
Here's Money. That's tipped. Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new fashion, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now. And I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. And I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, some of the Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew how to Paul Pierce, knew how to handle their business. Now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all. You had these guys who you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old giving, like, you know, long interviews to reporters. It's like, how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's already good at being a bad interviewer. Like, he doesn't say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Here's Sampson. 29 points for him last game against the Magic in Orlando. Outlaw's shot is off.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making, and he's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
Tipped away. He swipes the ball away again.
And you got he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think.
Without question, a crowd pleaser to the 10th degree.
Kicks it to Simpson. Indiana again, turning it over. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
Away from home, you got to execute, and they did that flawlessly.
And that's what it comes down to, execution, especially when you're on the road. Can you follow your game plan? I thought they were awesome in that game.
And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And here are the Pacers now. Indiana's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Pass to Delgado. To the paint. Outlaw with the bucket. Outlaw's got 4 this quarter.
Boy, after having a tough time in the first, he's managed to turn it around nicely this quarter.
Down low. Cuts off the pass. Inside. Some nice passing here by Indiana. And a miss there on the triple.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant. Boy, he's playing out of his head, nailing everything. And the defense is scrambling to try to stop him right now, and so far, no goal.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Takes the 13-footer, and again, it's Orlando converting.
Really, and running. They have a big advantage now in those transition opportunities.
No expiration date on their legs. They just seem to be fresh. And they're putting those fresh legs to good use.
And that's his 4th foul. And we're not even at halftime. That is going to limit his playing time and his aggressiveness the rest of the game.
The Pacers shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. The Pacers making a switch here. Garnett's checked in. Here's Rubio. Here's Gordon, and then Gordon with the dunk.
Yeah, great hustle from Gordon using his patented verticals to sky up for the board.
And here are the Pacers now. Got a piece of it. Sampson dishes to Outlaw. He kicks to Sampson. Garnett wide open. No good again that time.
And there was no effort on behalf of the defense. None. I mean, the shooter has to be upset with himself for missing that shot.
And count it. This shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish. Yeah, no let up. Killer instinct on display, trying to put this team away.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Yeah, you have to make teams pay for fouling you. That's why they call them free. And they've done exactly that. Made them pay.
Oladipo for three. They get it again. Delgado got it. Good job in the low post.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
Here's money. No good. So the Pacers will take it the other way. Knocked away. They're running. Front past the arc. And the three ball is good. Money's got a pair of triples in the second half for the Magic.
It's just hard to believe that someone can perform at such a high level. They've got to thank him for this lead.
Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by. Fantastic stuff as usual. We really appreciate your time.
Appreciate the Orlando Celtics.
You can't root on these guys.
I'm absolutely rooting. That's my team.
And Clark, always great to have Bill with us, a content creator who really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. Amen to all of that, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable.
And now he's taking a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Here's Gordon. He makes his 10th basket of the night from the field. He has missed 2 shots from the floor.
And Gordon is a guy who's used to being bodied. I mean, he just kind of plays through it, shrugging off the contact and ignoring it, really.
Now Outlaw. 8 points his last outing. Here's Garnett. Rebound by the Magic. Riley's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight.
Tell you what, Kevin, it would be helpful if he would start to contribute a little more on offense, because when he's missing, it makes it really hard for this team. And when Gordon is launched and in the air like that, he's a mesmerizing guy to keep an eye on and just get out of the way.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Mm-hmm. Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
And so,
Kevin, thank you. Aaron, great.
thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Hey, everybody. Out in front at the half is Orlando. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what do you think?
Well, they just outran their offense to perfection. They pounded the ball inside, and the entry fees were on time and on the money. It was a clinic to watch. The second half is going to be no contest if they keep getting shots 8 feet in.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Indiana?
Well, they gave up too many good looks. Look at the field goal percentage against them. This tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively, not enough disruption. Right? Like Kenny disrupts me all the time. Not enough disruption.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
A flyover of downtown gives you a great perspective of our location as we welcome you back to Indianapolis. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. What a game we're seeing from Money.
Oh, well, they've done a good job. The game come to them, and really few poor shots here so far.
And, you know, Greg, I like how they've set the pace There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
Biden is out there at Turner. And it's Sampson in the shooting guard position. So that's the group out there for Indiana. But there was a rules change not too long ago that promoted more help defense, less one-on-one defense. Good or bad?
I like it. Again, there's always going to be a premium on defending one-on-one, but positioning defenders where you can help better and more, I think it's trying to make sure the offensive side doesn't get too much of an advantage where the rules have gone in the past. So I think it's a nice balancing act for the game.
Bob pass to Gordon, and it's Gordon finishing it off.
Well, I like the fact that Gordon shows a nice skill there in picking apart the defense on the screen and roll.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play, sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. And Turner kicks to Phil. Misses the three. Farrell's got only one of his threes to drop for him. He's got 5 attempts. Biden passes to Farrell. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Farrell's gone 2 of 7 from the floor here. Here's Money. That shot is up. So the Pacers will take it the other way. Here's Garnett. Drops one in from the wing. Garnett's got 8 points.
And we know Farrell can score now, but it's important that he develops his passing skills even more.
The Magic shooting an absolutely astounding 80% from the field. Everything is falling. Shoots from the high post and off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. And here's Farrell. He'll bring it up for the Pacers. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession.
And you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Really came close to the pilfer. But they'll take that effort. Mucking things up is sometimes just as good as a steal.
Oubre's checked in for Indiana. 4 on the shot clock. Farrell for 3. Riley with the rebound. Riley's got 15 rebounds here tonight. To the middle. Lucky 7 drops in. He's perfect from the floor. 7 for 7.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
The shot by Turner, no good. Orlando, they've gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Here's Money, and he has 42. And there's the big-time jam. He slams it right over Turner.
Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim rattle.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
Highlight material. Showtime.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Rubio. Let's quickly take a look at the standings out east. The season nearly complete. Look at Orlando. What a run they've had this year. In first place and charging seemingly at will toward the postseason. These guys have been outstanding. And of course, Indiana, right now, quite a ways down below.
And seeing where the Magic are, as talented a team as they are, has performed at a very high level this season. Everything's gone according to plan up to this point.
And they're not a team that other teams look forward to facing. They're only going to get scarier the deeper into the season we get.
Good once again. That makes it 8 for 9 this game.
Often you find him out on the wing, but Olenek seizing the opportunity to go inside and dig out that extra possession.
In the corner, Farrell. Can they get it? Riley with the rebound.
I think these are the shots he's got to avoid taking. I mean, already struggling. He's not helping his team right now.
Good work there as it goes.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Power down with both hands.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Yeah, and the confidence is really at a high level. Very impressive. They feel like this game is theirs, dominating right now.
They get a hand on it. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here. Here is a list of the NBA's most adept passing teams this season. These are your assist leaders. Number 1, the Magic.
The beauty of watching this team is seeing the ball move around the court. It doesn't stick. That's why they're at the top of that list.
Orlando on D. Just 4 points. That's all they're giving up here in the second half.
Okay, he was on top of the way. Great anticipation and throwing it ahead. That's how you do it.
The Pacers have gone just 25% from the field here with 2 of 8.
And Ricky Rubio might be one of the most unselfish players in the league. Not only for his passing and how much he enjoys piling up assists, but how he does a great job adjusting for what the team needs him to do and not worrying about his own game.
Knocked loose. And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession. Now here's Garnett. 8 points for him. Here's Fultz. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
And they just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Yeah, they can't find anything. They're lost right now. Everything working against them. I'll tell you, he's beating up the defense in this quarter, going right at him and scoring in a variety of ways.
Frank Olynyk is covering. They need this. And plenty of contact on the shot. So, 2 free throws coming up. And Clark, you played your entire career with the Pacers. What was your favorite memory during that time?
Well, certainly realizing the dream of being an NBA player, Kevin. I was the 8th pick overall. It was close to where I played in college at Ohio State. And then being able to perform at a high level through unanimous all-rookie team selection. That was a pretty good highlight for me starting my career.
He hits both from the stripe. So it's Orlando now. They've got the Hawks ahead of them in their next game, and it's in Atlanta. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Hits it again. Wow!
And he's up to 52 points.
Yeah, making the GA look all too easy right now. And Oladipo kicks to Cornette. Here's Fultz. Sweet little floater. 7 points in the game.
A splendid release on the floater. When executed correctly, it's a beautiful, effective shot.
Money passes to Wiley. Got a piece of it. Frank, covered by Rubio. Here's Fultz. No good from outside. Here's Money. Non-stop scoring machine here. Rubio in the corner. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Time-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he's on the money, that's no doubt. Here's Fultz. And this is it off the right side of the rim.
He's been terrible. Absolutely awful. I mean, can't get it going. His shot isn't there right now. You got to help him some other way.
Heck, and still knocked it down. Nice composure. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Magic.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
And the other thing they've done since the beginning of this game is score points off turnovers and in bunches.
Passes it to Delgado. Pass to Outlaw. Shot clock at 5. Here's Fultz. A three-pointer off the mark.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on his game.
Just just a touch. I mean, it seems like forcing shots a little bit to me, Greg. Not playing his game right now, and with every miss, the pressure intensifies.
We're having trouble stopping this run.
And the more trips they continue to come up empty, the more the pressure builds on them.
Cornette kicks to Smith. And he uses the glass on the way. He's got 9.
Hey, and when guys at this level are that close to the basket, they ain't missing. I mean, especially when there's no defense in the neighborhood.
Here's Gordon. And again, another assist. And that's his 20th assist. Wow.
Just doing a great job at orchestrating the offense.
The pass to Cornette. Covered by Rubio. 4 on the clock. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession. Here's a look at the schedule for the Orlando Magic. On Tuesday, they'll take on Chris Middleton and the Atlanta Hawks. And then on Thursday, they'll face off against Anthony Davis and New Orleans Pelicans. Here's Money, covered by Outlaw. And got it! Another basket.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. The Pacers shooting at, I believe, 27% since halftime. Tipped away. And now Orlando on the break. Here's Money. Non-stop scoring machine. Gordon, the pass to Money. He got it again. Sensational.
And this game has his name written all over it.
Greg, he's been phenomenal in offensive onslaught. Smith outside. Here's Fultz. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gordon.
Let's take a look at Ricky Rubio. Some stats on him. He's been on a tear since the All-Star break, going really to another level. 3rd in assists, 3rd in steals, and also his field goal percentage is up in the top 5. Tremendously efficient at finishing plays at the basket.
And as you mentioned, top 3 in assists right now. He does a great job of running the offense, spotting the open guy, and making the sound delivery. Here's Money. Rubio in the corner. Orlando gets it back. And the basket by Olynyk.
Guys, they're just getting outworked. I mean, plain and simple. It's got to be more of a collective effort to secure that backcourt.
Yeah, and when you take a look at the stat sheet, they've got to do something to cut down on these second chance points. Box out and get to the defensive board.
And the Pacers can't get it to go.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
Indiana moving the ball around. Pass to Leiden. They need this one. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Money's got his 7th rebound here tonight. And good! There's another. 60 points. This guy cannot be stopped.
They've had no answer for him in this one.
We've got 1:28 left in the 3rd. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And now Orlando on the break. Pushing it up. And Wiley hits it to go. Wiley's got 7 points here in this quarter.
You know, guys, fast break points right now in their favor, and they're really pushing the tempo.
And Greg, defensively, you've got to have better floor balance and commitment to hustling back. I mean, you got to sprint back. You can't jog back.
Kicks it to Outlaw. And so Indiana again turning it over.
Bad turnover, plain and simple. No other way to describe it. I mean, he just threw it out of bounds.
55 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of the game. And here's Rubio. 18 points for him. Wiley, and it's good. Looking quite sharp with 10 of 12 shooting tonight.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
And you know what, Greg? They are crushing it on both ends. I mean, in total control right now.
To the inside. Smith kicks to Wyden. No good, and they can't put an end to this drought. Orlando's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Here's Money. It's rebounded by Indiana. Smith outside. Passes it to Outlaw. Tries from 10. Hits the front of the rim and out. With 1 on the clock, another possession, another assist.
Another possession, another assist.
You know, Greg, he's sharing the ball well, hitting his guys in their spots. Well, 3 quarters of play, all in the books. And this one, all but over already. Orlando out in front, just dominating this one. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery.
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And Indiana shooting just 35%. They've got to get better looks. So on the floor for Orlando. Kelly Olynyk, Money out there with Ricky Rubio. Then there's White. And it's Gordon in at the 4 spot. Money passes to Rubio. And Indiana will go the other way with it. Down low. And Turner with the basket on the assist by Oubre. Oubre's got 3 assists in the game. The Magic shooting a mind-boggling 79% off the floor. Here's Money. Rebound by Smith.
Good interior D there prevents boost.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get close to the bucket, it's to stop the basket.
Right on the bucket. For Miles Turner.
Confident in the paint, Turner knows he can cash in from this area.
To the paint, Oubre with the steal. To the inside. And it's Smith missing.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take it back.
Boy, I like how Gordon dishes the ball. When his teammates are open, he finds them on time and on target.
About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. Here's Turner. It's blocked. They'll get another chance. That's to Wyden. Out to the right wing. Clock at 6. And that's an air ball. Not even close. Orlando, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Got that bucket in no time at all. 64 points for Money.
And that's his MO. Sometimes he can score more points by himself than the rest of the team.
Here's Lyden. Olynyk is covering. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
That's good offense. The shot didn't go down, but they'll live with that.
Doubled by Smith. Rubio with a wide open look. Good on the triple. Rubio's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
He's showing no signs of letting up here.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Frank, covered by Rubio. Here's Frank. Off the run. It's good.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
The Magic have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Here's Money. It's rebounded by Indiana. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And Turner throws it down.
Oh boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make me look back a little bit, but I could never throw it down like that. It sure does look good.
Head coaches obviously get the attention in all sports, Clark, but the assistants also play very big roles. How do you build chemistry as a coaching staff?
You know, I've never coached, but I've watched a lot of coaches. I think first and foremost, you appreciate your assistant coaches, and then you give them room to grow and develop as coaches. And you share with them the building of the team and the coaching of the team. And that, to me, I think, if you serve your assistant coaches as they're serving you, I think that's how you build the best chemistry.
And loyalty's got to be big among that group on that sideline, doesn't it? Loyal to each other.
Big time. Loyalty to one another, and then also a common focus on really serving the players to the best of their ability collectively.
Oladipo outside. Indiana moving the ball over. Delgado. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Money's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Inside. And Riley gets it to go. Riley's got 11 in the second half.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist total, they've been clearly the better team.
No good from 18. Orlando, they've gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. It's hauled in by Cornette. Pacers shooting at 42% in this final quarter. One of those ongoing discussions about adding a fourth referee, Clark. Would that help us, you think, call the game more accurately?
No, it would just crowd the court more. Right. I mean, come on, what are we talking about here? There's a human element to everything we do. Things that calls are going to be missed. We've grown and gotten better at highlighting different aspects of calls, being more transparent about it. The video replay, I think, has been more good than bad in the game. There are going to be mistakes. You make them, I make them, the referees make them, coaches make them, players make them. We can't totally eliminate the human element of the game. A fourth official would not add to the ability to get more calls right. They're getting 94, 95% of them right now. You think another official is going to move the needle? Come on.
Getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
The Pacers have gone 6 of 13, so just about 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. And the pass to Frank. From outside, off the mark. That's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for the Magic. Here's Money. And again, he's been absolutely ridiculous in this game.
You get the sense he just can't miss.
Frank defended by Gordon, and the Pacers can't get it to go.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooter there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. Looked like he forced the shot.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA such a good, aggressive play in the paint.
Guys, it's all about persistence on the offensive glass. You just can't ever give up on a play.
You know, he was a non-factor in that first half, but now he's making up for lost time.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Sampson's checked in, and Yogi Ferrell subbed in for Victor Oladipo. Here's Money. He's got it. Another basket.
And that's 70.
He's unbelievable.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Ferrell looking around. No one near him. That one long.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
And his performance today, guys, is really a thing of beauty. A triple-double for him today.
Yeah, he's got his hands all over this game, impacting it in just about every category.
Garnett against Gordon, and Garnett misses. Orlando's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Here's Money. It's stolen. Here's Ferrell. This NBA clock, amazing. The potential now for some players to play into their 40s. In fact, we're seeing a couple guys in their 40s playing right now and playing well.
Yeah, you know, I thought about it when we started to see this influx, Kevin, of high school players coming into the league at 19, 20, 21 with the advancement and nutrition knowledge and training methods and preservation of the body and taking care of it, that we might see more longer careers. But if you start at 21 and play 15 years, that's still only 36. So I think we're going to see some more guys in the 40s, but I still think it's going to be a small number by and large.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're on now.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for some serious.
Here's Money. Here's Olynyk. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Olynyk's got 21 in the game.
And you can see the second chance points now starting to be a major factor.
Well, I tell you what, offensive rebounding is really an important statistic. Maybe undervalued a bit. Those extra possessions really do help.
That's their third straight made off an assist.
Lob pass to Gordon.
Oh! Hey! Ooh, wow!
Hammers the alley-oop through.
Hey, it's pretty simple. When Gordon is connecting like he is now, I mean, you got to keep getting the ball to him. He often takes high-quality shots.
Delgado passes to Fair. And he cuts in the layup off the glass.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Here's Money. He's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will retain possession. The dish to Olynyk. Magic moving the ball around. With social media providing instantaneous news, Clark players have to really watch what they say now before they hit the send button.
Yeah, you got to pause before you peck, and you got to pause before you post. That's one of the things I would tell them. That's what I would tell guys when I was talking about this landscape that they're in. Heavily scrutinized, and for the NBA players' credit, they've done a great job with social media. They're very visible, they're very accessible, they're well connected to the community through their platforms, but you do have to exercise some caution in how you go about your social media profile.
Riley, nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket. Riley's got 31 points.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just total obliteration, if you will. You can safely say mission accomplished now for the Magic.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And this team, obviously one of the elite teams. They have played with heart and passion for the game all season long, and the wins for them just keep rolling along. And tonight, it'll make win number 63.
And in the season finale between these two teams, they seal the deal, making smart adjustments along the way to finish out the year with an impressive 3-1 record against the Pacers.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Money.
You know, getting a triple-double isn't easy because I never had one of those, but somehow he made it look easy, just showing you how versatile this game is.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
As long as required, Greg. They want to put this thing to bed.
Outlaw with the bucket.
This is not the team we've been watching for most of the night.
Well, hopefully they can ride this momentum into the next game because this one is done.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
And Greg, you know how hard it is to win on the road, but they seem to have this one firmly in control, and have been very impressive today.
That one, no good. The Magic go the other way with it. Here's Money. And yeah, another basket.
81 on the night, channeling his inner Mamba right now.
There's no slowing this guy down. He is on fire. Outlaw with it. Pass to Delgado. Here's Frank. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise for the kind of win they did tonight.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Alder, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and